Unit 1 School Clubs.
Hello and welcome to Online Learning with me, Teacher Carlos. And today we are going to do our final exercise before we move on to Unit 2. So we're almost finished here with Unit 1 and our school clubs. So we'll go ahead and finish up our exercises here. So please open up your workbook to page 10. Workbook page 10. So we will go over page 10 and 11. Page 10 and 11 today. So the top of the page 10 should say Lesson 5 Skills Up. So this is a review from our Lesson 5 in our student book. So if you like, with your workbook, you may also take out your student book. Your student book to page 14. This page with the posters, the club posters, because these exercises you will need to look at this page on your student book. So let's take a look at letter A and let's go ahead and get started. So letter A says look and write. So we have a picture here of a piece of paper and it's folded. That is number one. Number two, we have an instrument. So we have to see what instrument that is. Number three, it looks like 3 students are doing something. And number 4, it looks like a student is playing with her creativity. So she is creating something. So the 4 words we need to match and write are on the right. If you look on the right of these exercises, you see your word bank. Word bank has the words march, origami, trumpet, and arts and crafts. So these words have to do with our story we read on this book. So I'll go ahead and put this page up to here for you because the answers are on that page 14 on your student book. So let's go ahead and write. So number 1, which word would that fit? So we have the O-I-A-M and it has a paper being folded. So let's look at the word bank and that word would be origami. Origami is these shapes that are from paper, from A4 paper or any type of paper. And you just fold and fold in half, fold again, and you make these shapes. Number 2, what instrument is that? So we used origami. The next words are march, trumpet, arts and crafts. So number 2, that would be trumpet. Number 2 fits right there, trumpet. Very good. So that is instrument name. Number 4, it looks like 4 students are walking together. They are march or arts and crafts? I would say march. They are marching. March, number 3. And the last word would be arts and crafts. So that girl is doing arts and crafts. Very good. Let's go ahead and move on to letter B. Letter B, you will need the story, the club poster stories, because the sentences are similar to the sentences there. Alright, let's move on to letter B. Letter B, unscramble and write. So for letter B, it looks like we have these words and we have to put the words in the correct order to make a complete sentence. So let's look at number 1. Number 1, we have the words are, arts, good at, you, and crafts, question mark. So if we look at our student book, page 14, and we look under club poster, the origami club, look at the first sentence. And the first sentence reads, "Are you good at arts and crafts?" Question mark. So those are the same words we have here. So are, we go ahead and start writing this down. Are you good at arts and crafts? Question mark. So that is the complete sentence. All right, number two. Number two, we have we, Thursdays at, meet on Miss Atkins' room, 4 o'clock in, period. So again, if we look at the origami club poster, the correct one would be, we meet on Thursdays at 4 o'clock in Miss Atkins' room. So again, that would be, we meet on Thursdays at Miss Atkins' room in 4 o'clock. Again, so that would be the correct one would be, we meet on Thursdays at 4 o'clock in Miss Atkins' room. Okay. Number three, we have the words marching band, players need more, exclamation mark. So that would be on the marching band poster. Marching band poster. So how can we rearrange this? This is really easy. So it would be, again, the first the first sentence on the poster. The marching band needs more players. The marching band needs more players! Exclamation mark. Very good. And the last one, number four. Number four, you can learn to the school songs. So let's look at the same poster, the marching band poster, and it should be, you can learn to play the school song! Exclamation mark. You can learn to play the school song! Exclamation mark. All right, so we're ready to move on to letter A on page 11. Letter A on page 11. Okay, letter A, circle and look. So look and circle. So we have a picture of a student who is knitting. So the sentence says, so we have to circle the correct like. I like to knit scarves. I likes to knit scarves, or I don't like to knit scarves. So if we look at the picture of the girl knitting, she likes it. So with the word I, it would be I like, no S. I like to knit gloves. If we say she, that would be she likes to knit scarves. But it says I liked. I like to knit scarves. Number two, it has a boy with a trumpet. Do you remember that instrument? It is a boy with a trumpet. We're using he. But look at the picture. Is he happy? No, he is not happy. So maybe he doesn't like to play the trumpet. So that would be doesn't like. He doesn't like to play the trumpet. We would not say don't like, because don't, that is do not, that is only with you or I. With he or she, we use does not, doesn't. He doesn't like to play the trumpet. Number four, it looks like a girl and she likes to dance. So do we say do or does? she like to dance? We would say does because we use she. Does she like to dance? And it looks like yes, she does. So yes, she does because she looks happy. She looks happy about that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to letter B. Okay, letter B. Letter B says make the sentences negative. Okay, letter B, make the sentence negative. So if you remember, let's look back on page 15 in our student book, and it should look like this. And I just want you to look at this front chart here that says positive and negative on the top. So when we try to say, I like to do yoga, you see that is positive. I like to, they like to, he likes to, or she likes to do yoga. So it is positive, like. Negative would be, I don't like to do yoga. They don't like to do yoga. He or she doesn't like to do yoga. So that would be negative. So negative has not, do not, does not. Okay, so keep that in mind. So let's look at these sentences back on your workbook. Back on your workbook, letter B. So you need to make the sentence negative. For example, number 1, I like to play the piano. So if you look at the example, negative, I don't like to play the piano. I don't like to play the piano. Okay, so you have to put do not to make it negative. Number 2, she likes to knit gloves. She likes to knit gloves. So when we use she or he, we use does. So negative, does not. She doesn't like to knit gloves. She doesn't like to knit gloves. Okay. And number 3, we like to dance. We like to dance. So we is me and one or more people. So that would be the same as they. So it's the same rule as they. We like to dance. We don't like to dance. Do not. Same as they. Do not. So we do not like to dance. We don't like to dance. That is negative. Okay, letter C. Letter C, we are given negative sentences, but we have to make the sentences positive. Letter C, make the sentence positive. So now we're going opposite. So number 1, he doesn't like to sing. That would be changed to he likes to sing. Remember, when it's not negative, it's positive. He or she, like has an S. He likes to sing. Number 2, I don't like to take art classes. I don't like to take art classes. So make that positive. I like to take art classes. Very easy. Just remove, take away, don't. I like to take art classes. Number 3, Anne doesn't like to build robots. Anne doesn't like to build robots. So we remove doesn't to make it positive. Anne likes with an S because it is a she. Anne likes to build robots. Very good, very easy. Okay, and the final letter D. Letter D, we change the sentence into questions. We changed the sentence into a question. So if we look back to our workbook on the chart, like to, Let's look at question and answers. How do the questions start? So if we use you or they, the question starts with do. Do you like to do yoga? Do they like to do yoga? If we start the sentence, if we use he or she, we start the sentence with does. Does he like to do yoga or does she like to do yoga? So let's look back at letter D. Change the sentence into questions. You like to do yoga. So we change it into a question. With you, we're going to add do. Do you like to do yoga? Question mark. So that is number one. It gives you the example. Number two, she likes to play instruments. So when we use she, we add the word does to make it a question. Does she like to play instruments? And we remove the S. We remove the S on likes. Does she like to play instruments? And the final one, they like to make cookies. So they would be do. Do they like to make cookies? Question mark. Do they like to make cookies? Question mark. And that does it for today. And we have finished Unit 1, School Clubs and School Activities. So we'll go ahead and review that before we move on to Unit 2. Okay, I hope you have a great day and thank you for joining me, Teacher Carlos, with online learning. Have a good day.